What's happening, guys and gals? Welcome back to another episode with Mom and Papa Joe. It's the new year, and we're really looking forward to kicking this off with a bang. And I think we've got a little treat for you guys. We're going to be doing a collaboration with T&T BBQ out of Iowa. These folks are doing it big time. Thyron and his wife have been on YouTube for some 7-8 plus years. They've got a million awesome videos out there. If I'm able to, I'm going to put their link in the top left-hand corner if I'm able to figure that out. If I can't figure it out, it will definitely be in the description in the right-hand side below. We're going to be doing pork belly two ways. I'm going to be doing skin-on crispy, and Thyron is going to be smoking. Be sure to take a look at Thyron and the millions of videos he's got out there. This is going to be awesome. If this is your first time to our page, welcome. We hope you enjoy what you see. For our usual old fans, you know exactly what you're going to get with Mom and Papa Joe's. We're going to give you some good stuff. So let's get moving on this pork belly. I bought a case of pork belly and came 2 slabs in the box. I'm telling you, once I got home and opened up that case, I was not very happy with what I got. That case weighed 22 pounds, 2 slabs, so you're looking at average 11 pounds each. Opened it up, and man, this is what I saw. This is what I found. Man, some areas with 0 meat left on the belly after they removed the ribs. I mean, this is barely 3/4 of an inch thick. This is the only area right here where I might be able to get something decent out of this. So this is not going to be as big a piece of belly that I'm going to be cooking as I really wanted. There isn't much trimming to do with a pork belly. Again, this has the skin on, and this is what we're going to attempt to crisp up on our Traeger. So right now, I'm just going to try to salvage what little piece I can get out of this to make the best possible piece of belly. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. Again, folks, you want to make sure your knives are sharp. I mean, this should be 2 times as thick, maybe 2.5 times as thick. So, very disappointed with what I have to work with, but we're going to make it happen. So these are ready for me to start prepping. This is going to be a long process, folks. To prep these is going to take me anywhere from 24 to 48 hours because I am going to salt this skin and then put it in the fridge in the open to dry out. This will aid in crisping up this skin as it cooks. So the first thing we want to do is to get some sort of jacquard. You can see this one. It's got nice little sharp tips. And we want to put 1,000,000 pricks across the skin of this belly. This skin will aid the fat in rendering and will cause it to bubble and crisp up in the end. You do not want to tear up or cut too deep into the skin. Man, and I think we're good. Finishing this last piece. I don't know if you're able to see these little holes that I created in the skin. This worked even better than I anticipated. So all we've got to do here now is we're going to brush this skin with some apple cider vinegar. And then we're going to put it back in the fridge for maybe an hour or 2. Let it dry out just a little bit. Then we're gonna come back with some salt and some baking powder. All right, so I've got my apple cider. I'm just gonna give this a good brushing. I'm just gonna try to keep it off of the meat on the sides. So I don't want too much meat exposed to that drying action of the refrigerator. All right, this will work. So I'm gonna come back, this is going in the fridge. I'm gonna come back after 2 hours and show you how I apply the salt to it. And then we'll put this down for about 24 hours to dry out. All right, so it's been about 3 hours since this pork belly has gone on into the fridge to dry with that vinegar on it. And for the most part, it's dry. There's just a little bit in some of the crevices, some of the cracks. I'm gonna come back now with a little baking powder and regular salt that I'm gonna rub into the skin. This baking powder changes the pH of the skin and will really allow it to crisp up. So I'm not gonna use a whole lot. Just wanna spread that around a little bit. Come back with some regular salt, and I'm gonna do this liberally, this salting. Don't be afraid. All right, so we just wanna work this in just a hair. And you can feel how much, how large a difference there is in the firmness of the skin from that 3-hour vinegar soak in the fridge. We're gonna call this good, and we're back into the fridge for at least 24 hours. Good morning and welcome back, sports fans. It's been about 36 hours, and this pork belly is getting ready to go hot. We're not going to even talk much. Let's get straight to business. We're going to simply start seasoning the meat side. A couple of different things. First thing we want to add is some Chinese 5-spice powder. This 5-spice gives it that nice fruity aroma and flavor, in my opinion. And we're gonna move this around. We're gonna rub it around. So we wanna put a nice generous amount. All right, next we're gonna come back with some coarse cracked pepper. Guys, it's not that important what you season with. Use the seasonings of your choice. This belly is very receptive in terms of flavoring your end product. It's very receptive to just about anything. If you're into just salt and pepper, awesome. If you're into a sweeter, more barbecue type rub, go with it. And then lastly, we're gonna come back with my all-purpose favorite, chupacabra season oil. I'm gonna go pretty heavy here. And I've found over time that cooking pork belly with the amount of fat that renders, it can easily wash off some of your seasonings. And there have been times in the past when I've cooked belly and I've found, man, I thought I seasoned this well, and in the end product, the seasoning was lacking. So be aware. And then flip over. And the only thing I'm going to put on this skin now is just a light sprinkle of salt. Nothing heavy, I'm just using regular table salt. Alright, we're going to give this a couple of 5-10 minutes and she's going onto the grill. Alright, our Timberline 850 is preheated to 250 degrees. We're going to drop these on my rack. This little wrinkle right here is annoying me, but it's not going to go away. But other than that, we're good. At 250, we're going to be looking at 3 to 3.5, maybe even 4 hours. Just letting these cook slowly and rendering before we really look to crank up the heat to try to crisp that skin. Many people have said that it will not work on a Traeger. I think it will. All right, here we are at the 3-hour mark. Let's do a first check. Ooh, that skin is really firming up. Let's check temperature of this smaller one. We're pushing 167, 168. The larger one, that's in the fat. Let's try the meat. 164. Alrighty, so we're gonna let this continue going. I want this to get up into 190, 192 before we really look at turning the heat up. So we're gonna let this ride until we reach that temperature. All right, here we are at 4 hours and 50 minutes. 182 on the big one. I'm going to pull this little one and give this big one another half an hour or so to get up to that 195-ish area. All right, so we're at 5.5 hours and this big piece is coming off. It's right around 196. All right, so to wrap these, we want to protect the meat of this pork belly from the high heat as it crisps. So in order to do that, you must keep it on a rack so that it's not sitting in the oil that's going to be generated by this high heat. Then you want to come back and pretty much protect the sides from the high heat. Again, just exposing the skin. What happens is that the oil that's generated really cooks and burns the underneath. So now the oil will be able to drip down through the rack while not frying, not burning the meat that would be underneath. So we're gonna wait for our pit to crank up to 500 and we're gonna drop these on. It's gonna take maybe a half an hour or so to get this skin to crisp and bubble up. All right, our pit is at 500. We are going to drop these. Remember, it's on a rack under here. Man, this high portion is probably going to crisp up a little faster than everything else. So we'll find a way to protect this. All right, we've been on high for about 15 minutes. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. The front seems to be further along than the back side. So we're going to give this a rotate. Yep. And now we're going to look at another 10 to 15 minutes. All right, we are there. And all right, we're starting to get a little too much color here. We're gonna call this good. We got some nice crisp, some nice bubble. All right, we've given this about 15 minutes of rest. This belly should be ready to go. And man, I am relieved. We've got a couple of the lower spots that would have taken a little longer to blister, so they didn't quite crisp up in here. But everywhere else, man, we are good. I mean, we are absolutely golden. And if we're starting to brown a little too much in some of the higher areas, so I decided to just leave well enough alone. Oh man, this is, that is absolute, oh my goodness, is that ever delicious. I'm gonna try to slice from the top without turning over. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Man, that is absolutely delicious. Guys, I'm loving this. So yes, it can be done on a Traeger. It absolutely can be done on a Traeger. So I cooked at 250, the big piece, for right about 5.5 hours. Cranked the pit up to 500 and just let it go for about another 25 or so minutes. And man, this is what I ended up with. Oh my goodness. Can you hear that skin, man? Perfect amount of salt. It's so rich. You're not going to be able to eat a whole lot of this. It is absolutely rich. And man, I'm so happy that I applied the seasonings heavily, because some of it will wash off with the oil that renders. But other than that, this was absolutely perfect cook. I love it. I've got people that this is going to. We're not going to eat very much of this. This is way too much richness. But hey, I've proven it. It can be done in a Traeger, and it can be done well. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with Mama and Papa Joe's once again. And yes, if you hadn't yet figured out to go to Thyron's page, it's up there in the link, or it's down there in the description. T&T BBQ. He's doing the version of this that is smoked without the skin. So it's sort of like brisket. You can enjoy. Thank you guys for once again hanging out with Mom and Papa Joe's. Remember what you're gonna get with Papa Joe's. You're gonna get the good shit and not the bullshit. Hit that subscribe button and be on the lookout for our next video. You guys take care.